If you are 65, 80 years old and still do the following 8 things, you are a rare gem. Hey there. Let me ask you something and really think about this. Have you ever been told that getting older means fading away, slowing down, or becoming irrelevant? That your best days are behind you once you hit a certain number? That somehow once you've passed 65, life becomes a waiting room instead of a wild, beautiful journey? If that sounds familiar, then you, my friend, are about to flip that script. Because this right here is a celebration, a tribute, a standing ovation for the powerful, passionate, purpose-driven individuals between the ages of 65 and 80, who are still living, still growing, still shining, and not just surviving, but thriving. This video is for you. You see, we live in a world that glorifies youth. Everywhere you turn, it's about the next generation, the young innovators, the fresh faces. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. But somewhere along the line, we forgot something vital. There's gold in experience. There's magic in maturity. And there is undeniable brilliance in those who continue to defy the expectations of aging. So if you're watching this and you're in that powerful 65-80 age range, or if you know someone who is, then this is your reminder that you are rare, you are radiant, you are not invisible. In fact, you might be doing things most people your age, and even younger, gave up on long ago. You might still be waking up every day with fire in your heart. You might still be hitting the gym, learning new things, showing up for your family, or dreaming about what's next, not what's over. And that makes you a rare gem, a treasure, a beacon. Today, we're going to walk through 8 incredible things that, if you're still doing them between the ages of 65 and 80, put you in a category so few ever reach. Not because others can't, but because most don't. Not because they don't have the ability, but because they lose sight of the spark. But you didn't. You still burn bright. You're still writing your story. And I want you to hear this. You are not behind. You are not less than. And your chapter, it's not closing. It's evolving. So whether you're 66 or 79 or anywhere in between, I want you to lean in, breathe deep, and take this in fully. This is not a list to measure you. This is a list to honor you. And if you find yourself nodding along, realizing you still do some or all of these 8 things, then congratulations. You're not just aging, you're ascending. Let's dive in. Number 1. You still wake up with a purpose day, sis. Let's start with something powerful. Something that most people take for granted until it's gone. Purpose. If you are 65, 70, 75, or even 80 years old and you still wake up with a sense of why, a reason to get up, stretch, get dressed, and face the day, then you are already ahead of most people. Seriously. Because here's the truth. A lot of people reach a certain age and they start to shrink inside. Not just physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Why? Because somewhere along the way, they were told that retirement meant retreat, that getting older meant stepping back, stepping down, fading into the background. They were told, you've done your part. Now sit down. But not you. You wake up and there's something pulling you forward. Maybe it's big, like running a community project, mentoring young people, or starting that business you always dreamed about. Or maybe it's small, like taking care of your garden, walking your dog, or baking bread for your grandchildren every Sunday. Either way, it matters, because purpose doesn't have to be loud. It just has to be real. Let me say that again. Purpose doesn't have to be loud. It just has to be real. There's a quiet kind of strength in having something to look forward to. Something that says, this day still belongs to me. You see, purpose is the thing that keeps your eyes open a little longer at night, and your feet moving a little faster in the morning. It's the invisible flame that keeps you warm when life gets cold. It's the inner whisper that says, there's more for me here. And not everyone has it. Most people give up on purpose because the world tells them they're too late, that they missed their moment, that they've crossed the line where new beginnings end. But you know something different. You know that waking up with purpose isn't about age. It's about attitude. Take Colonel Harlan Sanders. You've heard of KFC, right? He didn't found that empire until he was 65 years old. Can you imagine? Most people would be slowing down. He was just getting started. And now his legacy lives on all over the world. Not because of his chicken, but because he refused to believe that he was done. Then there's Anna Mary Robertson, also known as Grandma Moses. She started painting. Her art didn't just end up on people's walls, it ended up in museums. Why? Because her spirit said, why not? And she listened. You don't need to paint masterpieces or build empires though. Maybe you're still waking up every day to call your children. Maybe you're the glue holding your family together. Maybe you show up every week at church or write letters to your friends, or smile at every person in your building, just to make their day a little brighter. Guess what? That's purpose. That's rare. That's beautiful. The world needs more of that. Because what you're doing, whether you realize it or not, is fighting back against the idea that life after 65 is just waiting around. You're showing everyone around you that you're still building, still growing, still giving, still living. And even when things aren't easy, when your knees ache, or the world moves a little too fast, or your body feels a little slower, you get up anyway. Because there's still work to be done. There's still life to be lived. There's still purpose in your bones. And that makes you a rare gem. So if you're watching this and you're one of the few who still wake up with something to look forward to, even if it's just a smile, a ritual, a moment of peace, I see you. You are proof that age does not mean the end of purpose. It means the beginning of something deeper, wiser, richer, and more intentional. And for that, the world is lucky to have you in. Number 2. You keep learning new things. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you learned something new? Now, if your answer is yesterday, last week, or even I'm learning something right now, then stop what you're doing and give yourself some credit. Because if you're between 65 and 80 years old and you're still learning, still reading, exploring, asking questions, picking up skills, you are not just rare, you are unstoppable. See, society has this ridiculous idea that learning is only for the young, that once you leave school, once you've worked your job, raised your kids, paid your bills, you're done. You're on the downhill slide, as some people call it. But I want to tell you something. Learning is not a phase. It's a lifeline. And if you're still curious about the world, still hungry to understand it, still eager to explore a topic you know nothing about, then you are light years ahead of most people your age, and even many younger than you. Here's why that matters. Learning is how we grow. And growth is how we stay alive. Not just physically. I mean mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Every time you learn something new, you're sending a message to your brain that says, hey, we're still in the game. And science backs this up. Studies show that seniors who actively engage in learning, whether through books, puzzles, online courses, or hobbies, maintain sharper memory, better mental health, and even longer lifespans. That's not woo-woo talk. That's real neuroscience. But more than that, it's soulful, because learning brings joy. It brings adventure. It brings new beginnings. Think about it. When you pick up a new instrument, you're not just making music. You're making possibility. When you learn how to use a new app or smartphone, you're not just keeping up, you're staying connected. When you try your hand at painting, cooking a new dish, or speaking another language, you're not just passing the time, you're expanding time. Most people at your age have shrunk their world. They say, oh, that's too complicated. That's for young folk. I don't want to mess it up. But not you. You said, let me try. Let me see what else I can do. Let me be a beginner again. And my friend, that right there is what makes you extraordinary. Because being a beginner takes courage. It takes humility. It means risking looking silly, risking frustration, risking failure. But you do it anyway. Because you know that life is still unfolding. Let me tell you about Diana Nayad. At age 64, she became the first person to swim from Cuba to Florida without a shark cage. That's over 100 miles in the ocean, battling jellyfish, currents, and exhaustion. She didn't just wake up one day and do that. She trained, she studied, she learned, and she proved that growth never has an expiration date. Or take Nola Ox, who became the oldest college graduate in the world at age 95. She didn't sit back and say, I've learned enough. She got her degree, and then even went on to earn a master's. You don't have to swim oceans or earn degrees, but when you keep your mind open and your heart curious, you're doing something just as powerful. You are giving your soul room to breathe. And guess what else? You're inspiring everyone around you. Your kids, your grandkids, your friends, younger people who look up and say, wait a minute, if they can still grow, maybe I can too. So if you're watching this and you're someone who still watches documentaries, reads books, joins online classes, learns how to use a new gadget, writes poetry, or even just Googles how to fix a leaky faucet, you are not just a learner, you are a legend. And in a world full of people who have given up on growing, you're still blooming. So keep going, keep learning, keep surprising the world and yourself, because curiosity never gets old, and neither do you. Number 3, you stay physically active. Let's talk about something that a lot of people avoid as they get older. Something that takes effort, discipline, and a whole lot of self-love. Movement. If you are between the ages of 65 and 80 and you still make time to move your body, whether it's walking around the block, stretching in your living room, gardening, dancing in the kitchen, doing yoga, lifting weights, or even just getting up and down from the floor without help, you are extraordinary. Why? Because most people slow down way before they have to. See, we're told that aging means stiffness, soreness, and stillness, that you're supposed to take it easy, that after a certain point, exercise becomes too dangerous, too complicated, or too much work. We start treating movement like it's optional, like it's a luxury instead of what it really is. A declaration that we are still alive, still strong, still here. You know what I mean? You've probably had days where your knees complained, your back didn't cooperate, or your energy wasn't what it used to be. But here's the thing. You moved anyway. Maybe slower, maybe differently, but you moved. And that, my friend, is powerful. Movement is more than just physical. It's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual. It says I haven't given up on my body. It says I choose life. It says I am still becoming, not just aging. You're not doing it to look like a model. You're doing it to feel like yourself. You're doing it because you want to stay independent, because you want to chase your grandkids around the yard, because you want to travel, explore, or simply stand tall and walk with confidence. And let's talk about how rare that is. A lot of people your age stop moving altogether. They settle into the couch. They become passive. They start believing the lie that it's too late, that their body is already gone. So why bother? But you didn't accept that. You made the decision to stay active. And that makes you one of the rare few who don't just age, they advance. Here's what the science says. Ejercicios. Regular physical activity in later life reduces the risk of heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, and even Alzheimer's. It strengthens bones, improves balance, boosts your immune system, and supports mental health. It increases confidence, reduces stress, and adds years to your life and life to your years. And let's not forget the emotional side. That walk you take every morning, it clears your mind. That stretch routine you do before bed, it helps you sleep better. That gentle dance in the kitchen to your favorite song from 1972, that's not just exercise, that's joy. And joy, that keeps you young. Want proof? Look at Ernestine Shepherd, a female bodybuilder who didn't even start training until by her 80s, she was still competing, training and lifting weights. Why? Because she wanted to feel alive. Or Tao Porchon Lynch, the world's oldest yoga teacher. She was still teaching at one, and every time someone asked her how, she smiled and said, "There is nothing you cannot do." So whether you're lifting dumbbells or lifting grocery bags, whether you're doing Tai Chi or just doing laps around your house, you are doing more than just keeping fit. You are declaring, my body still matters, my health still matters, I still matter. And that makes you a rare gem. You are proof that the body, even with its wear and tear, is still capable of magic, if we treat it with respect, love, and movement. So keep walking, keep dancing, keep bending, stretching, moving, because you are not past your prime. You are in a powerful chapter of strength, intention, and vitality. Number 4, you nurture meaningful relationship. Let's talk about something the world desperately needs more of. Something that doesn't cost a thing, but is worth everything. Something that keeps hearts alive even when bodies grow older. Something that separates those who merely exist from those who deeply truly live. Connection. If you're between the ages of 65 and 80 and you still make time for relationships, real ones, then you are not just rare. You're sacred. You see, as people age, it becomes easier and easier to disconnect. Some do it quietly, almost without realizing it. A few missed phone calls, a canceled lunch, a quiet withdrawal from the world. Others shut down emotionally. Maybe it's because they've been hurt, disappointed, or abandoned. Or maybe they've just been told by society, by the media, even by family, that they're too old to matter. But not you. You stayed open. You still pick up the phone. You still send birthday cards. You still visit, write, talk, listen, laugh, cry, forgive, and love. And that makes you a lighthouse in a world full of lost ships. Because, let's face it, it's easy to love when life is easy. It's easy to be the fun friend or the giving grandparent when you have endless energy and time. But you kept nurturing relationships even when it got hard, even when your body didn't move like it used to, even when people moved away or passed on, even when the people you once counted on started counting on you. You didn't close off. You didn't turn cold. You kept showing up. And that is what makes you rare. You are the one who makes others feel seen, even when you feel invisible. You are the one who holds space for conversations, listens without judgment, and offers your presence, not because you have to, but because you choose to. And let me tell you something. That choice changes lives. Whether you realize it or not, you are shaping the emotional landscape of everyone around you. Your warmth, your attention, your ability to still care, still invest, still forgive. These are not common traits. These are the qualities of the wise, the strong, the deeply human. Maybe you're the one holding your family together, the bridge between generations. Maybe you're still married, and you're nurturing a love that's lasted decades, storms and seasons. Or maybe you're widowed or divorced, but you still show up with an open heart, still give love to your friends, your children, your neighbors. Whatever your story, the fact that you still choose connection, that you prioritize it, makes you someone people look up to, even if they never say it out loud. Because you're not just building relationships, you're building legacy. Studies show that people with deep, meaningful relationships in their later years experience. You've kept your heart open, even when life tried to close it. You understand something many people don't, that people matter more than possessions, that love outlasts money, that a shared meal, a warm hug, a deep conversation are the real treasures of life. So here's to you, the one who still calls, still visits, still shows up, the one who nurtures not just relationships, but souls, the one who reminds us that love is not bound by age, it deepens with age. You, my friend, are a rare gem, and this world is so much better, because you still care. Number 5. You embrace change instead of resisting it. Let's be honest, change can be uncomfortable. New technology, new ideas, new ways of doing things. And sometimes it feels like the whole world is spinning faster than ever. Right? It's easy, and honestly understandable, for people to resist change as they get older. After all, you've lived through so much already. Wars, revolutions, booms and busts, cable TV to streaming, rotary phones to smartphones, letters to instant messages, typewriters to AI. But if you are still open to change between the ages of 65 and 80, still learning how to adapt, still saying, okay, let's try it, instead of no, that's not how we do things, then you are exceptional. Because most people at this stage, they dig their heels in. They say the old way was better, or I'm too old for that nonsense. But not you. You evolve, you flow, you adjust. And that is powerful. Whether you've learned to use a smartphone, joined social media to keep up with grandkids, tried ordering groceries online, navigated Zoom calls, or even embraced new health routines, you are doing what so many won't. Growing in motion. You know what makes this rare. It's not just the doing, it's the attitude. Because to embrace change requires humility. It means admitting I don't know this yet, and being okay with that. It takes courage to step into the unknown when the familiar feels safe. And let's be real, you've earned the right to stay in your comfort zone. No one would blame you if you said I've had enough change in my life. Thank you very much. But instead, You said, I'm still here. I'm still learning. I'm still adapting. That makes you a student of life and a master of resilience. It also makes you an incredible example for younger generations who often fear change even more than they realize. When they see you adapting, trying new things, leaning into the future instead of resenting it, it shows them that aging is not the end of innovation. It's a whole new chapter of it. Let's get real. Life will always change. That's the one guarantee. But you've learned how to bend with the wind without breaking, how to stay rooted while growing taller, how to say yes when it would be easier to say no. And that's rare. That's inspiring. That's legendary. So here's to the ones who still embrace change, even after decades of watching the world shift. Here's to you, the rare gem who chooses growth over comfort, curiosity over fear, and openness over resistance. Number 6. You inspire others without even trying. There's something beautiful and rare about a person who inspires others not by preaching, but by simply being. If you're between the ages of 65 and 80, and people look at you with admiration, if they feel moved by your story, your calm, your presence, your way of living, even when you're not trying to make an impression, then you are one of a kind. You are a quiet flame in a world full of noise. And let's be honest, you may not even realize the impact you're having. That's what makes it so special. You don't walk around saying, look at me. You're not chasing recognition. You're just living your truth, showing up with authenticity, wisdom, and heart. And yet, people are watching. People are learning. Your grandchild might pick up on your kindness. Your neighbor might feel comfort in your steady presence. That nurse at your doctor's appointment might remember the way you treated her with grace and patience. That stranger on the bus might never forget the story you told, or the way your eyes lit up when you spoke of the past. You're inspiring because of who you are, not just what you've done. It's the way you've lived with integrity, the way you've weathered storms, the way you carry decades of life with humility instead of arrogance, the way you've faced heartbreak, disappointment, and uncertainty, and still choose love, joy, and hope. That kind of inspiration doesn't come from awards. It comes from authenticity. You've become a living library of experience, a walking mirror of perseverance. And whether you realize it or not, you're a mentor to someone. Maybe it's the young man who sees how you treat your partner with respect, or the young woman who notices your courage in starting over after loss. Or maybe it's someone in your own family who watches how you speak with softness when the world is hard. You see, we live in a world obsessed with being influential. But you're influential without the performance. And that is rare. Inspiration doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it's in the quiet way you keep showing up, the way you water the plants, the way you speak truth without tearing others down, the way you take care of yourself, the way you forgive. So if you've ever wondered, do I still matter? Let me tell you, you matter more than you know. You are a living example of what it looks like to age with grace, to endure with strength, to love without limits, and to continue shining, even when no one's clapping. You inspire by your presence, and that, my friend, is a superpower. So here's to you, the quiet motivator, the living legacy, the rare gem whose light guides others without even trying. Number 7. You prioritize inner peace over outer noise. Let's take a deep breath together. In and out. Now tell me, when was the last time you felt peace? Not distraction, not noise, not keeping busy. I mean real deep, nourishing peace. The kind that settles into your bones like a warm blanket on a cool evening. If you're between 65 and 80 and you've learned to choose peace over chaos, to tune out the noise and tune into your inner calm, then my friend, you are something special. You are rare. 'Cause here's the truth. The world is loud. Every day we are bombarded by news, opinions, arguments, fears, alerts, comparisons, and noise. So much noise. And it's easy, so easy to get swept up in it, to feel anxious, overwhelmed, off balance. But you've learned how to find stillness in the storm. You've realized something most people never figure out. Peace isn't something you wait for. It's something you choose, and it's one of the most powerful choices a person can make. Maybe you start your mornings with prayer. Maybe you meditate, or take a quiet walk without your phone. Maybe you sit by the window with a cup of tea and just listen to the birds, the wind, the rhythm of life. Whatever your version of peace looks like, you've made it a priority. And that, my friend, is not easy. That's wisdom. Because inner peace doesn't mean nothing bothers you. It means you've trained yourself not to let everything control you. You've made the decision not to let every headline steal your joy. You've realized that not every argument needs your energy. You've discovered the power of silence, reflection, and grace. That puts you in a very rare group. The elders who are not reactive, but responsive, not stressed but centered, not bitter but balanced. You've let go of what doesn't serve you, and in doing so, you've made room for something sacred. Clarity. Clarity of what really matters. Clarity of who you are. Clarity of where your peace truly comes from. And you're modeling something that younger generations desperately need to see. That peace is not passive, it is active, intentional, courageous. It's the product of discipline and deep love for your own soul. So if you're watching this and you've learned to turn down the volume of world, so you can hear the whisper of your own spirit, if you've made space for presence instead of pressure, if you've chosen reflection over reaction, then you are one of the rarest kinds of people walking this earth. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for showing us that peace is possible and that it's worth fighting for. Number 8. You still dream, big or small. Now let's talk about something sacred, something almost magical. If you're between the ages of 65 and 80 and you still have dreams, still think about what you want to do, create, see, experience, give, or become, then please know this: you are a living miracle. Because here's what the world often tells people at your age: you've done enough. Slow down. Let it go. Why dream? You're past that stage. Just enjoy the rest of your years quietly. And yet, you have dreams anyway. Maybe you dream of writing a book. Maybe you want to visit a new country. Maybe you want to plant a massive garden, build something with your hands, start a podcast, learn to paint, adopt a pet, reunite with a long-lost friend, or finally master your grandmother's secret recipe. Big or small, serious or playful, your dreams still live in you. And that, my friend, is incredibly rare. Because the sad truth is, many people stop dreaming long before they grow old. They stop believing they can. They stop thinking they deserve to. They stop imagining new beginnings. But not you. You still carry wonder. You still carry fire. You still carry hope. And maybe that dream isn't something loud or flashy. Maybe your dream is simply to live a peaceful, joy-filled life, surrounded by the people you love. Maybe your dream is to feel whole. Maybe your dream is to heal, and to help others heal too. Whatever it is, it's beautiful, and it matters. Because dreaming at this stage of life means you haven't given up on the future, even when the world told you it belongs to someone else. You know what's beautiful about dreaming at your age? You don't dream for stat. You don't dream for ego. You dream from the soul, from a place of depth, of experience, of wisdom. And that makes your dreams dangerous in the best way. Because you're not just dreaming, you're dreaming with intention. You've got nothing to prove, but still so much to give. And that is what makes your dreams sacred. So here's what I want to say to you, from one human being to another: don't stop dreaming, ever. No matter your age, no matter your past, no matter your physical limitations. Keep dreaming, keep imagining, keep planning, keep daring. Because as long as you have a dream in your heart, you have a reason to rise. You are proof that dreams don't expire. Only our belief in them does. And you're keeping that belief alive. That makes you a rare gem. A soul who dares to keep reaching forward. A light in a world that needs dreamers of every age. Conclusion. Shine on, rare gem. Take a moment. Breathe this in. Because if you've made it to the end of this video and saw yourself in even a few of these 8 traits, if you wake up with purpose, keep learning, keep moving, keep loving, keep adapting, keep inspiring, seek peace, or still dare to dream, you are more than just aging. You are ascending. Let's be clear about something. This world doesn't always celebrate people like you. It rushes past your wisdom. It overlooks your quiet strength. It often forgets that age isn't decline, it's depth. But today, in this moment, I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are not too old to matter. You are a rare gem. Not because you're perfect, but because you're present. Because you've chosen to keep growing when others shrink, to keep loving when it would be easier to close off, to keep moving when life tries to slow you down, to keep becoming when the world tries to label you as finished. You are part of a beautiful, powerful, underappreciated group. The ones who have seen seasons come and go, who carry wrinkles and wisdom, who wear scars like armor and laugh lines like poetry. You've endured pain and still found joy. You've been knocked down and still chose to rise. You've let go of things you never thought you could and made peace with things others never understood. And through it all, you remained kind. You remained curious. You remained alive. You are the living proof that life doesn't stop. It evolves. So don't you dare think you're done. Don't let anyone, not even yourself, convince you that your chapter is over. There's still more to feel, more to give, more to create, more to learn, more to love, and most importantly, there's still more you to become. So here's to you, the resilient, radiant, remarkable soul who keeps showing up. Here's to the elders who still sparkle. Here's to the dreamers who still dance. Here's to the teachers who still listen. Here's to the fighters who still smile. You are not just aging, you are shining, and the world needs your light now more than ever. So share this video, celebrate yourself, and if someone came to mind, someone over 65 who is doing these things, living this way, tag them, call them, tell them, let them know they are seen, they are valued, they are rare. And if that person is you, then from my heart to yours, thank you. Shine on, rare gem. You are everything this world needs and more.